everybody, it's Kelly here from Cuppa, and today I'm going to show you how to make the Take Square sweater. Now this is another pattern that's made to measure, so you can literally use any ply of yarn and any hook to match your yarn. I've decided to go with an Aran weight and a 6mm hook, but you could use DK, chunky, super chunky, 4-ply, whatever you wish, whatever you got in your stash, just grab it. And yeah, that's about it really. Right, so it comes in 9 sizes, extra small to 5XL. I have provided all the measurements that you are going to need in the written description of the video. I am making a size small, so if you're making a small, you can just go along with the measurements that I'm saying out loud. If you're making a different size, then you're going to need to refer to the measurements in the written section. This sweater doesn't have any added ease, and it's based on the chest measurement, and you will also find that in the description. I think that's probably about it really, apart from the things you're going to need is your yarn, your hook, scissors, stitch markers, tape measure, tapestry needle for weaving in those ends. Shall we crack on? Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to make 8 granny squares. Now if you look in the written description of the video and find your measurement for the size you are working, I'm doing a size small, and it says that each of my granny squares need to be roughly 20 centimetres. Now I say roughly because you might not hit that exact measurement, but as long as you are close, that is absolutely fine. So I'm going to show you how we make the granny squares. Some of you may already know how to make a granny square, so if so, you can skip over this part. But if you're a little unsure, I'll just show you how to do it. So make a slip knot and attach your yarn to your hook. We're going to chain 4 and then come back to the very first chain and put a slip stitch through that to create a little circle, and we're going to be working into the center of this circle. Now if you prefer, you can do the magic circle. I'm not very keen on it, so that's why I do it like this. But if you prefer to do a magic circle, then that's absolutely fine, that doesn't matter at all, you go ahead and do it. Okay, so it's in US terms. We're going to chain 3 and put 2 double crochets into the center of your loop. Oh God, I've missed it, look, that's a good start. So you chain 3 at the beginning, it's going to class as your first double crochet. You're going to put 2 more double crochets into the center, and then you're going to chain 2 and then put 3 double crochets into the center. And then we're going to chain 2 and then put 3 more double crochets back into the center. Now we need to have 4 sets of 3 double crochets to make the square. At the minute I have got 3. 1, 2, 3, and they've each got 2 chains in between them to make the corners. So I need to do it one more time. I'm going to chain 2 and put 3 more double crochets back into the center. And then chain 2 and then join it to the top of the chain 3 from the beginning of the round with a slip stitch. So just go through that top chain and make a slip stitch. And that is round 1. So I'm just going to take my end from the center, from where I started. I'm just going to pull on that just to bring it in a bit. Okay, so for round 2, we are going to be turning our work after every round because this stops your granny square from going wonky and slanted. So if you're changing colour, you would fasten off, just pretend, snip, fasten off, and then you're going to turn your work around so that your last row that you did, your stitches are wrong side facing you, and then you will join in any corner chain space with a slip stitch, and then you're ready for round 2. I'm going to stick with the same colour for this round, so I'll show you what to do if you decide that you want to stick with the same colour as well. So what we're going to do is we are going to turn our work around so that we've got the wrong side of the stitches facing us on the last round, and we're going to put a slip stitch right back in to this corner here. So we're just going to come into that corner, place 1 slip stitch, and now we are ready to start round 2. So what we're going to do is chain 3, which classes as a double crochet, and then we're going to put 2 more double crochets back into this corner chain space. Then we're going to skip over the next 3 double crochets and come straight to this corner. And in the corner, we're going to put 3 double crochets, chain 2 to make your corner, and then put 3 double crochets back into the same corner chain space. Then we're going to do it again. Skip the next 3 double crochets and come straight into the next corner with 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then put 3 more double crochets back into this same corner. I hope you didn't hear that. My tummy just rumbled ever so loud. I hope you didn't hear that. I hope you didn't hear that. Hopefully you didn't. Okay, so we're going to do it again. Skip the next 3 double crochets and come to this corner, your next corner, and put 3 double crochets. And then chain 2. And then put 3 double crochets back into the corner again. Now we're coming near the end, and we're going to be skipping over the next 3 doubles and coming to the next corner again, which is where we started. So you've got your chain 3 and 2 doubles already in there. So you're going to go into this corner chain space and put 3 double crochets, and then you're going to chain 2, and then we're going to complete the round by joining it together, and you're going to go through the 3rd chain from the beginning of the round right at the top and place a slip stitch in the top of that chain. Oh, I can't get in it there. Then put a slip stitch to join it. So I'm going to change colour for my next 2 rounds. But again, I'm just going to show you quickly again what you do if you decide to keep with the same colour. So what you do is you're going to turn your work and you're going to go straight back into this corner with a slip stitch. And then you are ready for round 3. But I am going to fasten off. So I'm just going to undo what I've done there because I want to change my colour. Just fasten off quickly. I'm literally just grabbing yarn from my scrap box. So my only rule is that it needs to go with the previous colour. So I literally have no idea what mine is going to look like. I'm quite excited to find out. Let me just turn around and just grab a random colour. Oh, lovely. One of my favourites. Love yellows and mustards. Oh my gosh, hang on, it's all stuck in my box. Right, let me just swap my colour over. And put a slip knot on my hook. Oh look, Mary Mandrake's holding the yarn. Thank you, love. Isn't she lovely? I got that from the Clay Queen on Etsy. So talented, so talented. Okay, so let's crack on. Now I'm changing colours, so I'm going to turn my work so that my last row, or last round, sorry, not my last row, is wrong side facing. I'm going to go in any corner to prevent my square going wonky, because nobody wants a wonky square. No way. Okay, I'm going to join it in with a slip stitch. I'm going to chain 3 and put 2 more double crochets back into this corner chain space. Now we're going to skip these 3 double crochets here, and there's a gap in between the next 3. So we're going to go into this gap in the middle, and we're going to put 3 double crochets in there. And then we've got 3 double crochets, and then you've got your corner chain space. So we're going to go into the corner with 3 double crochets, chain 2 to make another corner, come back into your corner chain space with 3 more double crochets, and then we do the same thing again. So you're going to skip 3 double crochets, and you're going to come into the gap between the other 3 doubles. So go into this gap and put 3 double crochets. Still got my yarn. Right, then we're going to skip 3 double crochets and come back into our centre. I'm getting put off because Mary Mandrake's got my yarn. Hang on, let me just unhook that a minute. Sorry, let's start again. We're going to skip 3 doubles, and we're going to come into the corner chain space and put 3 double crochets, chain 2, and then another 3 back into that corner, and that's another side done. Do the same thing again, skip 3 doubles and come into the gap with 3 double crochets. I've got one of my hairs in there, lovely. Always pick things up, don't you, when you're crocheting? Right, now we're going to skip next 3, and then we're going to come into the next corner and put 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets back into that corner. And then we've got our last edge to do. So we're going to skip 3 double crochets and come into this centre gap with 3 double crochets. And then skip the last 3 doubles, which brings us back to the final corner and also the first corner that we started in. We're going to put 3 doubles in there. And then we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to join it to the top of the chain 3 that you made from the beginning of the round. Put your hook through there and just make a slip stitch. And there we go. I'm just going to do a little bit more with you. I'm going to stick with my same colour again. So I'm going to turn my work, and I'm going to put a slip stitch back into the corner chain space, and then we're ready to go again. Remember, if you're changing colour, to fasten off, turn your work and join in any of the corners with a slip stitch. Okay, so chain 3, 2 double crochets back into that corner chain space, and now we've got 2 gaps to go into on the side. So we're going to skip 3 double crochets and come into the next gap and put 3 double crochets. And then skip 3 double crochets come to the next gap and put 3 double crochets. Now we're coming up to our corner, so we're going to skip those 3 doubles and come to the corner and put 3 double crochets, chain 2 and 3 more double crochets back into that corner. Okay, so I'm going to keep going and I'm going to meet you when we get to the end of this round. Just remember, all you're doing is putting 3 doubles in every gap, and in the corners you need 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets. So I'll meet you back here in a minute. Okay, so I'm right near the end of my round. I've got to come back into my final corner. So I'm skipping the last 3 double crochets and coming into that final corner with 3 double crochets and a chain 2. And then again, you're going to join it to the top of the chain 3 from the beginning of the round with a slip stitch. Okay, I'm going to fasten off quickly because I'm changing colour again. So remember when I said that you're going to be working your squares to a certain measurement? I am a size small and mine says roughly 20 centimetres for all of my squares. And remember, we were making 8 of these. So find your measurement that you are working towards for your size. I'm just going to flip mine round because all my ends are hanging around this side at the minute. So I'm going to flip it round. I'm just going to show you how you're going to measure your square to get that measurement that you're working towards. So you're going to need your tape measure and you're literally just going to measure straight across the centre, edge to edge. We're not measuring the actual edges because sometimes they can flare out a bit when you're working. So just go straight from the centre. So I'm at 12 centimetres at the minute. I need to get to 20 or close to 20 because I probably won't get that exact measurement. So keep working up your granny squares until you reach that measurement for your size. And remember, you need to make 8 of them. Once you have your 8, I will meet you back here and we will move on to the next part of the pattern. See you soon. Okay, so hopefully now you have got a pile of 8 squares, 4 for your front panel and 4 for your back panel. Just move these out the way a moment. Where is my tape measure? I'm not ready, but here we are. Okay, so I was making a size small and my measurement said I needed to be close to 20 centimetres. I am like 20 and a half. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. I'm happy with that. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to add 1 more round to each square. Now before you go, oh no, are you kidding me? Honestly, it's so quick and easy and it's going to be the joining part for the squares. So I suggest you pick the colour that you want to join your squares in. I mean, you could try it with a different colour. I never have used 2 separate colours for joining. I've always used the same one because we're going to be putting a round around each square and then we're going to put the squares together and join them with the same colour. But yeah, I've never tried it with 2 different colours. You could give it a go if you want, but I'm going to use the same colour. So for each square, we are going to be doing this. And it's easy, nice and easy. So let me just get my yarn ready. So we're going to have the last round facing up. So you need your stitches to be facing up and this is going to be the right side of your square. So join in any corner, chain space. Doesn't matter which one. I'm going to join in with a single crochet. Now to do that, I'm just going to insert my hook into the corner, get my yarn going to yarn over and pull through a loop, which gives me 2 loops on my hook. And then I'm going to yarn over and go through both loops. And I've just joined that on with a single crochet. Now we're going to put another single crochet in that corner chain space. Now what we're going to do is chain 3, skip 3 double crochets and come to the next gap, and you're going to put a single crochet in there. So that's chain 3, skip the next 3 double crochets and come to the next gap with a single crochet. Nice and easy. Hey, chain 3. Once you get going, like, you do it very quickly. You can go around each square very, very quickly. Single crochet in the gap, sorry, I'm talking. Chain 3, single crochet in the gap. So yeah, chain 3, skip 3 DC, single crochet in the gap, chain 3, skip 3 DC, single crochet in the gap. Keep doing this until you get to your corner, the next corner. So I'm at the next corner, I've got 3 double crochets and then the corner chain space. I'm going to chain 3 to get to the corner, and then in the corner we're going to put 2 single crochets, chain 2, 2 single crochets back in that corner chain space. And then just keep going. Chain 3, skip 3 doubles and go into the gap with a single crochet. Chain 3, skip 3 doubles and go into the next gap with a single crochet. Chain 3, skip 3, single crochet. Chain 3, skip 3, single crochet. Chain 3, skip 3, single crochet. See, nice and easy. I'll just do one more corner with you, just to remind you what goes in the corner. So I'm at the corner again. I'm going to chain 3, skip 3 double crochets, come to my corner and put 2 single crochets, chain 2, 2 more single crochets back into that corner. And you're going to do that all the way around. I'll meet you when we get back here. Okay, so I am now at my final corner. So I'm going to chain 3, skip the last 3 double crochets and come back into the first / last corner chain space and put 2 single crochets, chain 2, and then you're going to join it to the very first single crochet that you made when you joined in your yarn. So just go through the top of that and put a slip stitch. And then you're going to fasten off. So we need to do this for your remaining 7 granny crochets. What am I talking about? Granny squares. Put the same border around each one, and I'll meet you back here, and then we're going to start joining them together for the front panel and the back panel. Okay, so you should now have all 8 squares with your joining round attached to all of them. Now we're going to pick 4 squares for your front panel and 4 squares for your back panel. Mine's really easy because all my squares are exactly the same. But if you've used different colours and you want to lay it out and think, yeah, or you use variegated yarn, for example, you might want to pick and choose which ones you want to be at the front and which ones you want to be at the back. So I'm just going to move my squares a second. And I'm going to get 4 for my front panel. Okay, so you want all of your squares to be right side facing up, and we're just going to lay them out. So we've got top left corner, top right corner. I don't know why I'm saying corner because I don't really need to be saying that. So let's just rewind that. Top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. Okay, so this is my front panel. What we're going to do first is we are going to join top left and bottom left. So I'm just going to shimmy over the right side for a moment. So remember, your squares should be right side facing up. What you're going to do is take your top left square and flip it straight onto the bottom left square, like this. Nice and easy, just one little flip, like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to seam from here across here. And both your right sides should be touching, okay? So we're now going to seam from here to here. Okay, so hang on, I've got to go get my hook. Oh my goodness. I'm prepared again, and I'm sitting on all my other squares. You're probably like, what on earth is she doing? Right, here we go. We are now going to seam across the centre of the top left and bottom left square. So let me just get my yarn, and I'm using the same colour that I used to put the last round on my squares. You can try a different colour if you wish, but I don't know what it would look like, to be fair. It might look pretty cool, but I am going to use the same colour. So what we're going to do is go through the corner space, and you're going to make sure you go through both of them. Now, like we did before, I'm going to join mine in with a single crochet. I'm going to join my yarn in. So I'm going to yarn over and pull up a loop, which gives me 2 loops on my hook. And I'm just going to yarn over and pull through both of those loops, and that's a single crochet. And I've joined the 2 corners together. It's the same sort of thing, what we've just done. You're going to chain 3, and then you've got a chain space here, which was your original chain 3 on your square. You're going to go through both of these, through both panels, with a slip stitch. Not a slip stitch, you're definitely not going to do a slip stitch. A single crochet. Sorry. Okay, so you've chained 3. You're going to go through your chain spaces with a single crochet. I don't know why I said slip stitch. And then keep repeating. Chain 3. Come across to your next chain space, skipping that single crochet. We're not going to go and do anything with that. It's just going to look pretty when we turn it back out again. So we're going to go through the chain spaces on both panels with a single crochet. Again, chain 3. Come to the next chain spaces, go through both of them with a single crochet, chain 3, come to your next chain spaces, go through both of them again with a single crochet, chain 3, come to your next chain spaces again, go through both of those with a single crochet, and keep repeating all the way across, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain spaces, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain spaces, chain 3, single crochet in the next chain spaces, and then that brings you to the corner, which is all you've got left to go into. So you'll do one more chain 3, and then you'll go through both corner chain spaces. Make sure I'm in the corner bit, yet, with a single crochet. And then you will fasten off. Just tighten this end. And then when you flip it out, you have this lovely join. I love it. It's so simple. So simple, yet so effective. Just like that, look. It's pretty, isn't it? So now I want you to do the exact same thing. so I can't quite fit them in at the minute, but do the exact same thing that you've just done for the top right and the bottom right. You're going to flip the top onto the bottom and do this exact same join from here to the right side all the way across to the left side to join them in the center. And when you've done that, I'll meet you back here. Okay, so now you have your left side of the panel, your front panel, and the right side, which have both been joined in the center. What we need to do now is get the middle bit joined up to make it one big square. So what we're going to do is have both your panels right side facing up again, right side facing up. We're going to take the left hand side and we're just going to flip it straight onto the right hand side so that both of the right sides are touching. So just one swift action like you've just done before with the other two, straight on top of each other. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to be seaming this center. Okay, so in order to do that, we're just going to take it and we're going to flip it round 45 degrees so that we can work from this side all the way across to this side. Now I'm just going to bring my camera closer so that you can watch me do the seam. Okay, so we're now going to seam across the center. We just get my yarn. We're going to be doing exactly the same as what we've just done to join the top and the bottom pieces together. So pick up both pieces and go through the corner chain space on both pieces, and these are pictures on both pieces. I'm going to join it in with a single crochet, and then we're going to chain 3 and then come to the next chain spaces on both panels and go through both of them with a single crochet, chain 3, come to your next chain spaces and go through them with a single crochet, chain 3, come to the next ones, single crochet, chain 3, next chain spaces, single crochet, chain 3. So keep doing this and I'll show you what to do when we get to the center. Okay, so I haven't got any chain spaces left at the moment. I've now reached the center of the squares. So what we're going to do, nice and easy, just chain 3, come to the original corner of the first square and go through both of those, both panels, and do a single crochet, chain 3, skip over the seam that you've just made, and then go into the next corner of the square on the opposite side. So we're going to go through both corners and do a single crochet, and then you're back to working in your chain spaces again. Chain 3, single crochet in the chain spaces, chain 3, single crochet in the chain spaces. See, nice and easy. It's just when you get to that center, you're just going in the corner chain spaces rather than these big chunky chain 3 spaces. So nothing too drastic, nothing too hard. Such a simple join, but it looks really effective. So I'm coming up near the end of mine. I've got one more chain space to go through, and then that brings me to the corners. So placing my final single crochet, and then I'm going to fasten off. I would say tighten this end, but I've got no idea. Look at all these ends I've got to weave in. That's the only thing, it's all the ends. Just move these guys out the way while I open this up. Okay, so that was the centre. So I've just gone and flipped it back round again. I can't quite fit it all in the screen at the moment, but there, look at that. So lovely. A bit wonky. Look at that, such a lovely join. Okay, so I'm going to weave in all my little odds and ends because I like to weave as I go. I've got all these ones here as well. And then you're going to do the exact same process all over again for the back panel. So once you have 2 of these squares, one front, one back, I'll meet you back here and we're going to start adding on some neckline shaping to the front panel and a few more rows to the back panel. So I'll meet you back here in a little while. Okay, so you now should have 2 large squares that consist of 4 small squares. One's going to be for the front, one's going to be for your back. So you're going to take what you want to be your front panel and we're going to work on that. All of mine are exactly the same, my front and my back, so it doesn't matter for me. Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to add some neckline shaping. So this is going to be the front. What you're going to need for this is your tape measure, which I haven't got out. Of course I haven't got out. Your tape measure and 2 stitch markers. So you're now going to have to go to the description of the video and find the measurement for your neckline shaping to the size that you are working towards. Now I'm doing a size small. My neckline shaping says I need to measure around 12 centimetres on each side. Now what that means is we're going to measure from this corner 12 centimetres, this corner 12 centimetres. Remember, I'm only saying 12 centimetres because I'm working a size small. If you're working a different size, it's going to be a different measurement. But that's all in the description. All the measurements are there. So, size small, 12 centimetres around on each side. Where are we? And we're going to be putting our stitch marker in the single crochet closest to that measurement. So I'm going to go from this corner and measure 12 centimetres. That brings me right in the middle of my chain, which is fine. So what I'm going to do, because I'm right in the middle, I'm going to go to the closest one, the closest single crochet to the edge. I'm not going to go closest to the middle because that'll make my neckline smaller. I'm going to go closest to the edge. Totally lost which one it was now. Ha! I've got to measure it again. Never mind. Okay, yep, I'm right here. So I'm going to place my stitch marker in this single crochet, closest to that number, but closest to the edge. I'm just going to count how many I have now to the edge. It's just going to count the single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the corner. So I'm going to get my other stitch marker. I've got the corner here. I'm going to count 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put my stitch marker in that one. And that's both even. See if I can zoom in a bit. Oh no, hang on, this one. No, hang on. Oh, it's not working. I can't get it to zoom in. Oh, I'm pushing the wrong thing. Hang on, here we go. Oh, here we go. We're zooming in. There you go. So you can see I've got my stitch marker in the 4th single crochet from the edge, and exactly the same on the other side. So you need to do the same thing, and then we're going to start working our neckline shaping.